Every single series brings the most interesting kind of cases, really. I mean, at this stage, you'd think there's nothing left to do. Where do these ideas come from? But they just keep on rolling.
You are so right. What makes... I mean, at the end of the day, 10 years, I could think, well, actually, I've done it, I've seen it all. And occasionally I've thought that. And then I sit in that chair and somebody comes up with the thing that you think, genius, you know.
What always surprises me is they never do their homework and the figures and the facts and everything.
You're going on there, do your homework.
You get so uncomfortable watching it. It's so painful.
Do you know, but I feel like that because I feel they've got an amazing opportunity. You know, they have got 5 people there who could absolutely change their businesses. And when I get frustrated, it's as much out of, oh, don't mess this up. You know, it's an amazing opportunity. But we've got some absolute stormers this year. Stormers. In fact, after this, I'm going to sign one of my Dragon's Den deals. That's my next thing that I do.
What is it? Give us a clue.
I can't tell you.
Yeah, can you tell?
I can't possibly tell you, but it's very exciting.
And you've got some new dragons as well this year. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah. So we've got Jenny, who is her business was cash machines, and Tage, who actually will know some of his brands, Perfecta, his Vitibiotics. Very different characters, and that again makes it interesting because you know, if we get to know each other too well, you kind of settle into you know, the way of being, but actually when dragons change, makes us up our game.
Is there a fundamental difference between male dragons and female dragons?
I don't think we're male or female in that den. Do you know, for years people used to say to me, I was the only woman in the den for 7 years, and people used to say, what it's like being the only woman in the den. I was like, I'm not a woman in the den. You know, I'm actually a dragon. I'm there to invest. My gender is no interest.
So there isn't a different thing that drives you. There isn't a different. You couldn't say that is a business person who is male or female. They're different.
I don't think so. And really interesting because I don't really see gender. It's very interesting. And somebody asked me how many women have you invested in. I thought, well, that's so strange. I don't know because I don't count. Do you know my investments are 50-50, and I didn't know until somebody asked me. And I counted. It's 50-50.
It was 50-50.
It's 50-50.
Well, that was interesting because we were talking about the BBC scandal with the pay salary gap, and I wanted to ask you about that because obviously you're on a show where it's mostly male, you know, and there's this, you know, you've been on the show for a really long time. Have you ever been curious about what the other dragons are making vis-a-vis you?
I know.
Or have you?
No, I know what the other dragons are paid.
So we're all paid the same.
All paid the same.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And do you talk about it? Is that something you're all upfront about?
No, absolutely, completely. Because I mean, for me, the whole gender thing. It's terrible that people should be, whether it's gender, whether you know, if you're doing a job and you're doing it well, you get paid the rate for the job. You know, nothing else comes into it. That's it. And it's crazy to alienate, you know, a huge vast part of the world. How has it happened, though?
How has it evolved?
I think it's probably market rates. So it's kind of historic, isn't it? It's kind of women work, you know, worse than that. Women didn't used to get the good jobs. You know, it used to be, well, they got the quite junior jobs. And I just think it kind of hasn't, it's got to move on, but it hasn't. It's kind of stuck to that a little bit. That's
like
what I
that
think
debris
happened.
we were talking about. Just in evolution, there's this debris in progression that kind of lasts.
Totally. It just holds it back. It is changing, and I think it's a fantastic thing. It came out. You know, because talk about it. If you talk about it, it gets fixed.
Absolutely. Right.
And you started at a really young age, from 11 years of age. You had a really good business brain then. Can you tell us? You started with flowers.
The story about with the bar job and the maid was.
Oh no, that one. Oh no, that was
that's a good one.
That was.
So
oh no, I don't.
Okay.
I can't believe you're going to make me say this. So I really don't like cleaning. So when I was at college, I used to we used to share rooms for cleaning rotas. I used to actually go and work in a bar so I could pay somebody else to go and do my cleaning, and I feel really, really bad about that. I can't believe you made me say it.
Using your money.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I quite enjoyed the bar job, so there you go. Yeah. I did.
So tell us about Paul. Does he still, your lovely husband, of course, does he still get a kick out of watching Dragon's Den and does he enjoy the series still after all these years?
He enjoys that I enjoy it, but Paul has his own life, and he doesn't really watch it. Are we showing pictures? Oh my goodness, he'll be very cross about that. He likes to sit quietly in Somerset.
Does he?
Yes, he does.
I thought he liked to wear yellow trousers.
Oh yeah, there was a little rumour of yellow trousers.
I can't. June, I am going to. So this is going to be the end of a 33-year relationship. Yeah. So our first date, Paul turned up I asked him out.
Yeah. Good for you, love.
Love that.
He was working for your dad.
He was
isn't that
working
right?
my father, and you don't go out with the boss, you know. Don't
That's,
out with
by the way,
people
very
like
brave.
that.
Very brave.
So I asked him out, and he turned up, and I chose very carefully where we went because he was wearing bright yellow trousers. It turns out that they were the only ones that were clean, as you know, as men will do. He spent ages thinking about what I was going to wear. It was just, you know, going to pull them out because they were clean.
And when he asked you to marry you, didn't you say no?
I did. Why? Hate me. Everybody is going to hate me.
No, why did you, though? Tell us why.
Do you know, I was never, ever getting married. And it wasn't that I wasn't committed. I thought I was committed for life, but I just wasn't getting married. And it wasn't on my, you know, I was very focused on work and business. And I said no, and Paul said, well, I want to get married. And he left me. He said, if we're not going to get married, then I'm going to go and make my life with somebody else. And I thought, damn it, I quite like him. I want you to go. And you know what? When I changed my mind and I went back, he made me work for it. It wasn't a question of me going back and changing my mind. He said, no, we'll have to work this out, Deborah. And, you know, even on the morning we got married, I thought, I'm doing this for Paul, not for me. And it's the best thing I ever did. It is